Hey, my name is Rachel Myers. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I choreograph a song. And there are many ways to choreograph a song, but I did a teaching on this a little while ago, and it seems to be a really easy or smooth method to go about doing this. So we are filming a video for you to learn how to choreograph your own music, just using this particular method. There is another video in your repertoire to listen to and to watch about finding the beat, the upbeat, the downbeats, the counting of music, and that will also help play into this particular video or into how to choreograph a song, but it isn't something that I'm going to hone in on in this video. So this is just a breakdown of what I've learned in my years of choreographing music and throughout the different formats I've taught as well. So I've got a couple of bullet points or some pointers just to talk to you about briefly before we get into how to break apart a song and how to choreograph a song. So first is fall in love with a song. What are you hearing on the radio? Is it something you heard at church that it's like in your head, it's stuck, it's there, you're like, I gotta move. So listen to that song and listen to it a lot. Listen with intent. So now you're not listening just to enjoy the song, but you're listening because you're going to now use the song and start to put movements to the song. What I do, and I highly recommend, is look up the lyrics. Is the content good? So when I'm more talking about not what's in church, but what's on the radio. Is the content good? Once you see, sometimes we think some lyrics in the songs are better than they really are, and then you get them printed out and you're like, oh my goodness, this is not what I thought it was. So please check into the content of the songs, into the lyrics, especially if it's stuff pop culture radio that you're hearing. Just check. But the cool part about looking into the lyrics and the content also, especially in and it can be secular music, but especially in some of the Christian music, is that you're going to find some content and lyrics that the Lord's going to take you deeper into the meaning of some of the things. So it's actually a really beautiful process that He can take you on that journey. Some of the songs, when you look up the content or even hear the lyrics, you're going to hear that there may be directional cues. So it could be one of the songs that I'd done last time or a while ago was called Saints. And in the very beginning, the guy was saying, left, right, left, right, left, right, who? Well, somewhere along the lines, I'm going to do something with my left side of my body and my right side of my body. So I went with a marching or like a kind of a left, right. I used my legs more or less, but someone could use their arms. What else? We got inspiration. So be inspired when you are putting together music and trying to think of moves. Take inspiration from anything, from nature, from water, wind, the movement of trees. Sometimes on slower songs, or even in water, you're going to think flowy, movement, soft, athletes. Sometimes there'll be harder songs, or I'll talk a little bit more about that, but there'll be a stronger beat that you're going to think of, like, say, I think it's called the Heisman. I'm not even sure. But when you have that 3-step, it's 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3. And you'll see football players do this move a lot. We incorporate those moves into some of this music, into whatever you choose. But you take your inspiration from anywhere. Like I said, athletes, nature, but also we talk to the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, give us creativity, give us inspiration. Give me the moves, help me to understand this music, and He's faithful. So, I have a runny nose. One sec. This is a training video, I know. So, on top of that creativity, my biggest thing is, what do you feel like doing? What does your body feel like doing? Now, it's easier said than done, I think. I think I'm saying it like it's a easy thing to do. I'm a natural mover. I'm a natural dancer. I have zero dance background. I have no training. but my body just likes to move to music. Some people aren't exactly wired that way. So this may be a little bit tougher than I might put it out to be, or make it seem. But what do you feel like doing? Do you feel like with the music, is it stronger movements? Do you feel like punching? Do you feel like kicking? Do you feel like swaying your hips? Do you feel like doing cha-cha moves, little steps? So you just got to feel your body, feel the spirit moving and giving you inspiration. Trust him in this. So is the music slow, fast, soft, hard? Do the movements that you're thinking about or feeling coincide with that kind of music? So the slow, is it a flow? Is the slow a flow? Is the harder and stronger movements or sounds giving you ideas for stronger movements, like those kicks, those punches, those twists, those squats, those are a lot of them. And then the other thing is freestyle. You do you. So if there are portions in the song that lend its way to kind of it's broken up, they often call it a bridge, you can give people the freedom, and yourself, the freedom to just have at it. Do whatever you want to do. So say you had structure to a song, which we're going to show you some structure. There are portions and pieces that you can say, hey class, hey, just freestyle. What do you feel like doing? A lot of times there's air guitar involved. But yeah, so there's freestyle involved too. When you're going through what we're going through, what we'll talk about, make notes. So like I mentioned, I like to look at the lyrics. I print out the lyrics, and I'm going to show you an example of that. And I make notes. Not all of my notes end up being the song, end up being the dance, but I need to write them down. So it's in my brain, get them out of my brain. Choreograph in chunks. So what I mean by this is, like, you don't have to sit down and think that you're going to just crank out song after song after song, or even one song. But choreograph in chunks means fall in love with that chorus. A lot of times when we hear songs, we fall in love with the chorus of something because it gets stuck in our head and it's a very powerful, portion of the song. And so if that's where you're most inspired, start there and then branch off of that. And you can take the movements that you create in that chorus, in that inspirational piece that you really, really enjoy, you can take portions of that into the rest of the song if you want. There is, within music, there are an intro, verse, choruses, a bridge, and an outro. So that's a typical composition of a song. And so when we talk about the breakdown of the song, we will go through an intro, verse, chorus, verse, that kind of stuff. So know that there's a method to some of these, to most of the music, I'm sorry. So the beat, like I said, in the early part, I said that we will get to the beat, we will hear and listen to the beat, but it is something that we're going to more hone in on other videos. Your ideas are awesome. Practice. So listen, a lot of times here's what happens. For me, I don't know why it is, and I think I've talked to a few instructors, and this happens with them too, but we do some of our best choreographing, and we get a bunch of ideas on flights. So we're stuck in a seat. We actually physically can't even move. We can't even move we can't do anything, right? You're stuck in a seat. But for me, I don't know why, some of my best choreographed music comes from sitting still. Couldn't tell you why, but that's not for everyone. But what happens with that is my brain will think, oh, that would be cool. Okay, yep, I can see myself and I visualize. I can see myself this, yeah. Okay, that's great, but then you have to practice. You have to put that into play, and often, maybe not often, it depends, they might not be as great as you thought they were. So you have to make sure that those movements will coincide with what you were thinking, because once you actually start to do what you thought, it may not work well. And why I say that is because of the big word called transitions. Transitions are really important. What I mean by transitions is the transition from one movement to the next. So if I were to do, let's say I was going to do a punch, I wouldn't try and do maybe a kick with this left, like this. I've got a right hand, it's opposite here, but so I wouldn't do a punch and try and kick something back in a direction very opposite of where my body was moving. I was going here, and I'm not going to try and kick back there, right? Not to say that we would think to do those things, but sometimes we think to do a movement and then, oh, we should throw in a jack or a jumping jack. Oh, we should a squat would work out good there. And the idea could be good and the movement could be good, but they might not be good together. So that's a big portion of putting these moves together, this choreographing together, is how does my body flow together? How do these movements flow together to execute the best way possible? And that they're fun, they're movements that are good, but when they transition well, they're easier to learn and follow as a teacher, as to teach and to follow. So anyway, it's great to have fun moves, strong motions, cute kicks, wacky jacks, but the moves have to go together. Like a song flows in composition, they have to go together well. And so that they're safe, they're effective, they're fun and easy to follow. Know your moves. Fundamentals, fundamentals, fundamentals. And that's why we're here. If you're going to throw a punch, throw a punch, okay? If you say, hey, punches, and you've got a strong song, this is not a punch, okay? Yeah, no, this is like if you want to be like goofy and swimmy move, I'm swimming, but that's not a punch, okay? When we're throwing a punch, be a strong punch and know the proper form. So if I'm throwing a punch, my core is tight, my fist is about shoulder height, my knuckles are to the ceiling, so we can cue those proper movements, those proper cueing techniques as we're doing the movement. And we're using it effectively, safely, and with its best potential, like the strongest movement that you're going to get out of that punch. And so then you're able to do it yourself so that you can cue them to do it well too. And they want to see good form, okay? Practice how you will execute. Know that you can edit, you can change, you're a work in progress. We're all a work in progress. Enjoy the journey. It's fun. You're going to have fun. You're going to be goofy. You're going to laugh. And here's the best thing, is when you have a good time with this in particular, that trait is the most transferable trait to your participants, okay? Your joy in this is the most transferable trait. That they're going to see you enjoying you. They are going to have the freedom to enjoy themselves. You might be laughing at yourself. They're laughing at themselves. But the thing is when you're stressed out about perfecting these moves or perfecting these songs or perfecting the execution of them, that's transferable too, okay? So relax. It's okay. We're going to have a good time. And we're always here for help. So anytime you need help or questions or inspiration, here at Revelation Wellness, we are here to help. And especially Rev TV. If the inspiration that you are, struggling for moves and what should I do with this and how's a good transition, watch them, do them, see what we've already done, copy the things we've already done. That's what's there for you. So you have so many things to set you up for success in more ways than one. And this is just a snippet. So hold on tight. Here we go.